YouTubers, welcome back to the Hobbit. Today we're looking at chapter 3, A Short Rest. They did not sing or tell stories that day, even though the weather improved. Nor the next day, nor the day after that. They had begun to feel that danger was not far away on either side. They camped under the stars, and their horses had more to eat than they had. For there was plenty of grass, but there was not much in their bags, even with what they got from the trolls. One morning they floated over there at a wide shadow place full of the noise of stones and foam. The far bank was steep and slippery. When they got to the top of it, leading their ponies, they saw that the great mountains had marched down very near to them. Already they seemed a day's easy journey from feet of the nearest market area looked for little patches of sunlight on its front sides, and behind his shoulders the tips of snow peaks gleamed. Is that the mountain? Bibble asked in a solemn voice, looking at it with round eyes. He had never seen one look so big before. Of course not, said Bolin. That is only the beginning of the misty mountains, and we got to get through, over, or under those somehow. Before we can come into the land beyond. Well, it is a beautiful way, even from the other side of to the lonely land in the east, and so lies on our treasure. Ooh, said Bibble. And just at that moment he felt more tired than he had ever remembered feeling before. He was thinking once again of his comfortable chair before the fire and his favorite sitting room in his hobbit hole, and the kettle singing, not for the last time. Now Gandalf led the way. We must not miss the road, or else we shall be done for, he said. We need food for one thing, and rest in reasonable safety. Also, it is very necessary to tackle the misty mountains by the purple path, or else you'll get lost in them. And we'll have to come back and start at the beginning again, if you ever get back at all. They asked him what he was making for. He answered, we will come to the edge of the wild. but some of you may know. In somewhere it was in the very valley of Rivendell, where Errol lives in the last homely house. I said, the message by my friends, some of you are expected. I sounded nice and comforting, but I had not gotten there yet. It was not so easy as it sounds to find last homey house in the west of the mountains. There seemed to be no trees, and no valleys and hills that break the ground in front of them. One vast slope going slowly up and up to meet the feet of the nearest mountain, divided by the color of the heather and cropping rock, with patches and splashes of grass green and moss green showing where warm might be. When past afternoon came, and all in the silent waste, there was no sign of any dwelling. They were growing anxious. Well, they saw now that the house might be hidden almost anywhere between them and the mountains. They came up on unexpected valleys, and with deep sights. And opened suddenly at their feet, and looked down surprised to see trees below them, and right at the bottom. There were gullies that they could almost leap over, and very deep in waterfalls in them. There were dark ravines that one could neither jump over nor climb into. There were bogs, some of them green, pleasant places to look at, with flowers growing bright and tall. But a pony that walked there would pack on his back would never have come out again. It was indeed a much wider land from the fourth to the mountains than you would have guessed. Bibble was astonished. The lane path was marked with white stones. Some of which were small, and others were half covered with moss or heather. Altogether, it was a very slow business following the track and guided by Gandalf. Rosina knew his way about pretty well. His head and beard lied this way and that as they looked for stones, and they fell asleep. When they seemed no nearer to the end of the search, when the day began to fail. Tea time had long gone by, and it seemed supper time was soon the same. There must fluttering about, and the light began very dim, for the moon had not risen. Bibble's pony and the stubble bowl over roots and stones. They came to the edge of a steep fall in the ground. So suddenly the Gandalf's horse nearly slipped down the slope. "Here it is, he called, and the others gathered around him and looked over the hedge. They saw a valley far below. He could hear the voice of running water and a rocky bed at the bottom. Scent of trees were in the air. There was a light on the valley side, plus the water. Bibble never forgot the way they slivered and slipped in dust down the steep zigzag path into the secret valley of Rivendell. They grew warmer as they got lower. Although the pine trees remained drowsy. so that every now and again he nodded and nearly fell off, or bumped his nose in the pony's neck. The spirits rose as they went down and down. The trees changed to beech and oak, and there was a comfortable feeling in twilight. The last green had almost faded out the grass when they came at length to an open glade that far up the banks of the stream. It smells like elves, thought Bibble. So he looked up at the stars. They were burning bright and blue. And just then there came burst a song like laughter in the trees. Oi, what are you doing and where are you going? Your pony sneeze chewing. The river is falling. Oi, trally-lally. Here down the valley. Wait, what are you seeking? Where are you making? The floodgates are leaking. And rocks are faking. Wait, tra-la-la-lee. The valley is shelly. Ha 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 ha. Wait, where are you going? The beard's a little wagon. No knowing. What brings Mr. Baggins? Ball and Dolan down in the valley in June. Ha ha ha. Wait, will you be sane? Will you be flying? You're pulling tight a string, a daylight sign. To fly will be folly, to stay will be jolly. And listen and heart to the end of the dark of a tune. Ha 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 ha. So they laugh and sing in the trees. They fair nonsense. Did I say you think it? Not that they would care. They would only laugh all the more if you told them so. They're elves, of course. Some people caught glimpses of them as the darkness deepened. They love elves, although it's only met them. But he was a love friend in them too. Dorses don't get on well with them. Even decent enough Dorses, like foreign and his friends, think them foolish, which is a very foolish thing to think. I get annoyed with them. But some elves tease them and laugh at them, and most of all, at their beards. Well, said a voice. Just look, Bibble the Hobbit on a pony. My dear, isn't it precious? And off they went into another song, as ridiculous as the one I hear. Lean down and fall. And that's one, a tall young fellow came out from the trees and out to Gandalf and toward in. Welcome to the valley, he said. Thank you, old said Fordit, a bit gruffly. And Gandalf was already off his horse. One else, talking merrily with them. You're a little out of your way, said the elf. That is if beyond making only half across the water into the house beyond. Was that you right? But you had best get on foot till you're over the bridge. And you can stay a bit and stay with us, or you will go straight on. Supper is preparing over there, he said. I can smell the wood fires for the cooking. As sorry as he was, Bibble would like to stay a while. Elvis singing is not a thing to miss. In June, under the stars. None of you. If it's just James. Also, he would have liked to have a few fighter ups for these people. And changing those names. I know about him, though we never seen him before. And the opinion of his venture might be interesting. Elves know a lot, and one of his folk for news. I know what's going on among the peoples of the land, as quick as the water flows, or quicker. But the Josephs will offer supper as soon as possible just then, and would not stay. So on they all went, leading their ponies, till they were about to a good path. Until, at last, to the rim of the river. It was flowing fast and noisy, as mountain streams of a sunny evening, when the sun has been all day on the snow far above. There was only an hour bridge of stone without parapet. Sounds of pony could well walk on and over. They had to go. Low and careful, one by one, each leading his pony by the rail. The elves had brought light lanterns to the shore. They sang the maiden song, the party went across. Don't dip your beer in the foam, father, I got up Fortnite. His arm was bent on to his hands and knees. It's hard enough without worrying it. My Bibble doesn't eat all the cakes they called. He's too fat to get through keyholes yet. Hush, hush, good people, and good night, said Gandalf of King Last. At least 7 years, and some elves have over many tons. Good night. And so at last they came to the last homely house. Found the doors wide open. And so at last they came to the last homely house and found the doors flung wide. Now it is a strange thing. The things that I could happen days that I got to spend. I soon told about. And much to listen to. Things that are uncomfortable, upbringing, and even gruesome make a good tale. I think it you'll tell it anyway. They stayed on in a good house, 14 days at least, and they found it hard to leave. Mabel would have gladly stopped there forever and ever. And wasn't supposing a wish. Would have taken him right back to his hobbit hole without trouble. Yet there was little to tell about this day. The master of the house was an elf friend. One of those people whose fathers came in strange stories before the beginning of history. The worlds of the evil goblins and the elves and the first man in the north. In those days, for tale, there were still some people who had wolf elves and heroes more for ancestors, and their ruled. The master of the house was their chief. He was as noble and fair in face as an elf lord, strong as a warrior, Twice as the wizard. That's able. This king negotiates. And it's kind of this summer. He comes into many tales. But this part, so your Bibble's energy is only a small one. The point is, you will see. If we ever get to the end of it, his ass was perfect. Whether you like food, sleep, or work, or storytelling, or sitting, or just sitting and thinking back, wasn't a mixture of them all. Everything's did not come into that valley. I wish I had time to tell you even a few of the tales, or one or two of the songs they heard in that house. All of them the police. That's all. To refresh and join a few days there. The clothes were mended, so was the bruises. The tempers and their hopes. The bags were filled with food and positions light to carry was strong to bring them over the mountain passes. Their plans were improved with the best advice. Though the time came in midsummer eve, and they were to go on again, very sun midsummer morning. Harold knew all about runes of every kind. That day he looked at the swords they have left in Rose Lair, and he said, "These were not true made. They are old swords, very old swords, of the high elves of the west, my kin. They were made in Golden of the Goblin Wars. They must have come from a dragon's horde on Goblin Plunger. While dragons and goblins destroyed that city many ages ago, this fortune, the rune's name, what niched. The Goblin Clever, ancient Gobdelin. He was blade. This Gandalf was Darlene. Warhammer had the king of Goldelin once war. Keep them well. Whence did those get them, I wonder, said Fortune. Looking at the sword with new interest. I could not say, said Eric. But one may guess that you trolls on other plungers. I come and reprimands old robberies in some hole of the mountains. I have heard they were still forgotten treasures of old to be found in the straight caverns in the mines of Moria since the Dolph and Golden War. What? Earn 100 these swords. I will keep this sword in honor, he said. May it soon he hate goblins once again. I wish that is likely to be granted soon enough in a man, said Harold. But show me now your map. He took it and glanced along it. and he shook his head. Right. And not on can improve the doses. I love the God. He hate dragons and cool weakness. And they agreed to remember the room. Then Dale was made bells. On the brown banks, the right, they were running. The moon was shining. The old civic crest. He held up the map, and the white light shone through it. "What is this?" he said. "There are moon letters here beside." And plain runes. Let's say 5 feet high, the door and great and make walk at best. "What are moon letters?" asked the hobbit full of excitement. He loved maps, as I told you before. And he also liked runes and letters and cunning handwriting, although he was a bit thin and spidery. "Moon letters are rune letters, but you cannot see them," said Erod. "Not when you look straight at them. They can only be seen when the moon shines behind them. And what is more, when the moon cunning what there must be a moon the same shape as season and today they were in. It does this. I said them and wrote them with still pens, so friends could tell you." These have must been written on Midsummer's evening on the crescent moon a long time ago. "What do they say?" asked Gandalf of Fortune. The other, a bit hex, perhaps, and even Edward had found this out first. Although, really, there hadn't been in hands before. And there would have been, there would not have been another until goodness knows when. Sent by the great stone when rush knocks where they wrote. On the same sun, on the last light of Berlin's day, will shine upon the keyhole. Durin, to put in. He was the father of the fathers of all the states of Doses. Columbiates, and my first ancestor, I am his heir. Then what is Berlin's day? Asked Harold. "The first day of the Doses New Year," said Berlin. "It's all shit. No. The first day of the last moon of autumn. And the first hold of winter. We're still called Durin's Day. On the last moon of autumn, and the sun are in the sky together, but this will not help us much, I fear. For it passes our skill these days to guess when such The time will come again. It remains to be seen. And Gandalf, still animal writing. On to be seen by these moons and neighborhoods. And gave a map back to float in. And I went down to the water to see the elves dance. Seeing them. Midsummer's Eve. Next morning was a midsummer's morning as fair as fresh that could be dreamed. Blue sky and never a cloud. And the sky, and the sun dancing on the water. Now they all die amidst songs, farewell and good speed, with their hearts ready for more adventure. And with the knowledge of the road they must follow over the misty mountains to a land beyond. Well, that was a short chapter, guys. Next week we're looking at chapter 4. We'll see you guys then. Bye.